Hey everyone, a common question I often get in practice is, owners are unsure if their dog is actually in pain or not. And there's some simple ways you can tell if they are, and I'm going to share 3 of them with you so you can have a better understanding of what your dog is going through. So the first thing that, can alert you of pain are the obvious, signs that you can see. So things like limping or not weight bearing on one of the limbs. That is obviously the most common, something's going on. Another thing that can actually come up as a result that people often miss is the fact that when a dog rests and then he gets up or she gets up from their bed after exercise, the dog will be stiff. So the owner will realize this, but after 5 to 10 minutes or even 5 to 10 steps, that limp goes away, and then they say, well, they must be okay because later that day they're out chasing squirrels, but that pattern persists. And the problem with that pattern is it's typically related to degenerative type osteoarthritis conditions, because what's happening is there's inflammation and inflammation as a result of tissue damage from the exercise they're doing. So when they rest, the inflammation builds up, it seeds in the joint or the muscle, whatever it may be, and then they go to move and now they're really stiff. So with that movement that they have, it's creating a pumping mechanism. It creates mobility in the joint or the muscle, and it allows it to move a little bit better so they can handle that strain. However, there's still an underlying injury there, and you must get that checked and determine what is going on with the dog. The second thing that is a really obvious one that a lot of times people overlook is the dog is uncomfortable and they'll be panting or they'll be pacing out of the ordinary in your house. So if the dog normally pants and overheats in the summer, that's one thing if they're outside playing. But if you're just relaxing in the house and you realize this dog, and it's typically in older dogs, but it could be in younger dogs, they're coming up to you and they're uncomfortable, they're panting, they're pacing, they're not relaxing, that's a really good sign that you should take your dog to the vet and have them looked at, get an overall general assessment, maybe some blood work done to make sure all the levels are normal. Now, the final thing that can help you determine if the dog is actually injured and you're unsure is actually palpating different parts of the body. So if you think it's around the knee, palpating those areas, don't be scared, but the dog may yelp, it may pull away, it may also try to nibble at your hand to try to get you away. I mean, dogs don't have hands to push you away, so they're gonna use their mouth. And if they're doing that, they're clearly irritated. So check that out. What I'll do is I'll link to another video up above that just describes how you can palpate the difference between a muscle or a joint ligament injury. And that's a really crucial thing to know and understand, because the presentation is completely different. And if you understand some basic tenets, you can help determine the course of action and the care that's needed for your dog moving forward. So, moving forward, keep an eye out for those 3 things, and hopefully that helps you in determining if your dog is in fact in pain or not. Take care.